Boys, what's happening? Welcome back to another episode of the F1 2021 My Team series here on the channel. Today is round 5 of season 3. We are in Baku for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix at the Baku Street Circuit, of course. Last season, if you do remember, in season 2, we did get our first win, I think, of the team was in Baku. So hopefully we can go ahead and do that today. We'll have to wait and see, wait and find out. We're just checking out the driver standings now. We are down in P10 in the driver standings after 2 back-to-back DNFs earlier on this season, and yeah, you can see there we did win in Azerbaijan, and that set up a back-to-back triple win in Azerbaijan, Canada and France. So they're the next 3 races in this season. Let's see what we can do. We do have the best car on the grid now. Last season when we got that win, we weren't even the best car on the grid on the chart there. We have maxed out our chassis, the aero and the engine, so let's get into this race and see if we have any pace around Baku. So boys, getting into quali then, we are currently in P11 here in Q1. 5 minutes left in the session. We're going to go for another push lap because I don't think that would have been enough to get us through to Q2. We lose a bit of time coming through the first corner, dropping down into second gear. I should have stayed in third probably, but we dropped to second. But on the straight here in the first DRS zone, we do get back into a positive delta in the green, as you can see. Currently sat in P11, like I say. Slower cars in front of us. Leclerc only in P10, but Fernando Alonso in that slow Alpine ahead in P9 as well. A little wobble on the exit to that corner there, but we managed to keep it very close to the wall on the left hand side there, and that is perfect, using all of the track as possible and not putting it in the wall like Max Verstappen just did in Saudi Arabia this weekend in quali. That is one thing I was very scared about coming into the street circuit here in Baku. You know, because obviously you've got to push it to the edge, and that's how you maximise your time. Again, we're pushing it right to the edge of the track limits there, but we managed to keep it out of the wall, and we're currently a second up on our previous lap as we head to the downhill braking zone now, making sure we get done early and take a lot of the curb there, which actually improves our time by a lot. Most of the time when I take that curb, I actually lose time. We go wide on the exit to that corner there. We're still up by 1.2 seconds nearly heading through this section now, and you need to get your setup perfect for this section, otherwise you will just spin and put it in the wall. But we're going to be 1 second up. We're a bit slower through the final sector there, hitting the DRS zone as early as possible. It's going to be a whole second faster than our previous lap, and let's see where that puts us. That's going to put us P6, so hopefully that is enough to get us through to Q2. Obviously the top 16 go through, so about 10 cars are going to be faster than us. Let's see, we stay P6. Michael Schumacher P1 in Q1 here, 1.1 seconds away from us. So I mean, this car's definitely got pace. You know, Michael's going P1, so there's definitely pace in this car. Getting into Q2 now, we are currently sat in P8. Lewis Hamilton in P6 on the medium tyres. Lewis clearly showing that he wants to go for a different strategy. He wants to go for a one-stop, maybe medium hard, whereas everyone else here is looking on doing soft tyres, you know. And we actually did set our time, I do believe, boys. You can see in the top right, we have a 1:36.7. We did set that time on medium tyres. This is the last run of the session, because as you can see, we are in P8, and we mess up the castle section completely there, and our delta just drops away from us, and we're going to be 3/10 down as we head towards the end of sector 2 and into sector 3. So yeah, I thought obviously it's a top 10 that goes through in Q2. We did set our lap on the medium tyres because I did want to start the race on the medium tyres, same way Hamilton's doing, but I thought we need to go again on the softs just in case we don't make it through. You can see Hamilton just improved his time on the soft tyres there as well in the top left. Oh no, it's flipped back to mediums now, I don't know, but yeah, so I tried to set a better time there on the soft tyres, but it didn't work out, so we've got to back out of the lap. We're currently P10. Esteban Ocon's about to cross the line. Will he take our place? Ocon won't, but Carlos Sainz will. Sainz up into the top 10, and he's going to knock us out in P11. We get knocked out of Q2 there. Unfortunate, because we did have the pace, you know, and I tried to save a lot of soft tyres. I only used one set of soft tyres in Q1, So we had a lot of sets of tyres for Q3 there, if he did make it through to Q3. So pole position was definitely within reach. Michael Schumacher, P6 there on medium tyres. Michael, Valtteri and Sergio Perez, the only guys qualifying there on medium tyres, and you can see us as well. Obviously not getting knocked out by 2/10 on the medium tyres as well. Let's get to the race and see what we can do.
This was the arena, if you think back to 2017, of one of the most eventful races of modern history, with controversy behind the safety car, last-second overtakes, and a historic podium for Williams and for Lance Stroll. So let's find out what lies in store for us this year. It's time for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Baku City Circuit then, an unpredictable 3.7-mile track around the streets of the Azerbaijan capital. 20 turns for our drivers to navigate today, including the infamous Turn 8, one of the tightest and most challenging corners of the season. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box. And it's fantastic to have you with us here today, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
But from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn 1. It's all a bit like going into battle, and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you, so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. An immense lap from Michael Schumacher yesterday puts him on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Norris, Carlos Sainz and Bottas, Hamilton, Ricciardo, Leclerc and Fernando Alonso. The owner driver, Ocon, George Russell and Gasly, Vettel, Tsunoda, Lance Stroll and Antonio Giovinazzi, Latifi, Tictum, Mick Schumacher. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty, and Nikita Mazepin. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
So boys, we've got it all to do in this race. We are going to go for the one-stop strategy. As you can see there, quite bizarre. We have 13 laps on the mediums and 13 on the hards. Don't normally see that, the same amount of laps on two different sets of tyres. But Michael on pole position there here in Baku. Let's get into the race, boys. It is 5 red lights and we wait for them to drop. It is lights out and away we go. Michael Schumacher off to a great start in pole position there. It looks like Max Verstappen in P2 and Sergio Perez looking to push Michael to the edge there. We get off to a decent start. We're going to be behind Fernando Alonso, heading down into turn 2. Leclerc just moves out the way completely down into turn 2, looking to go up the inside of Daniel Ricciardo, but it's not going to work. We actually get the outside line on Fernando Alonso and make up a place up into P10. We started P11, of course, on the grid. So we're up into P10, chasing down Charles Leclerc now. Very weird from Leclerc. I thought he was going to take him into turn 2 as well. He did just move to the inside. I think he was covering off, defending from Fernando Alonso there. But now we have to chase down Leclerc. We are on the slower medium tyres. So I'm surprised we actually had such a good start compared to what we did with Alonso, the guy we overtook, being on soft tyres. And there's a few more soft tyre runners behind us, I do believe. But I really want to try and make a one-stop work here in Baku. And with our tyre wear upgrades in the R&D tree being maxed out, I think we should be able to do it, but we'll have to wait and see. Anything can happen here in Baku, such as a safety car, which, as the title of the video probably says, there is a safety car in this this race. So we are chasing down Charles Leclerc. As I say, the top 10, I think, or top 9 are going to be on soft tyres, actually, apart from Michael Schumacher, who qualified on the mediums, and Bottas and Perez. So even like I say, with Michael, I'm surprised he got off to such a good start because he qualified on those medium tyres, and Verstappen would have been on soft, Perez on mediums, of course, as well. Michael setting the fastest lap of the race there, of course, being the leader of the race, but it was a whole 7.4 seconds faster than us off the first lap there. But getting into lap 3 now, DRS is now enabled. We are just out of range of Leclerc, I think, going into this next straight. Oh no, we're going to have DRS down the next straight on Charles Leclerc, using a lot of battery to try and just stay within that DRS range. You can see we're down to 60% already on lap 3, and what I don't want to see is a repeat of Imola, where if you remember the 9 laps that we did have in the race, we had no battery because I was pushing so hard for those first 9 laps to try and catch people, that we ended up having no battery to try and defend or attack later on in the race. But our ERS is doing quite nice right now, and as you can see, we're going purple in sector 1 there on medium tyres as well. If you are new to Formula 1 or you don't understand the sector colours, purple means that you've gone faster than any car on the track in that certain sector. So if you go red, it means you've gone slower than your personal best, green, faster than your personal best, and purple is a personal best of the whole race for every car. On lap 3 here, coming through the castle section, there's going to be a yellow flag behind us already on lap 3. A yellow flag is coming out in Baku here. We could be on for a chaotic race here, boys, and it's going to be George Russell's Williams, I do believe. As we come through the castle there, you can see his engine is gone, so that is more reliability problems for Mercedes. Yeah, I was going to say I'm glad that it's Mercedes and not Ferrari, but Ferrari have already had their reliability problems this season with us retiring in Imola and China. Yeah, if you haven't seen those races, make sure you go back and check out the rest of the races in this season, and make sure you hit the like button on this video. I forgot to say at the start, but if you can get to 10 likes, we haven't in a while, but if we can get to 10 likes, then that would be excellent. So currently in P10, Fernando Alonso is gone. I don't know where he is. Yeah, I think he's behind Gasly now, so he's lost 2 places there. Leclerc's going to come into the pits. Like I say, the soft runners are going to struggle early on in this race. They've come into the pits, a lot of them were up into P6, Verstappen coming out in P8 behind us, and then on the next lap we're trying to chase down Carlos Sainz, a repeat of last lap with Leclerc. We're going to try and get in his slipstream, but he's going to peel off into the pits. So on lap 6 here, we're going to overtake Norris as well in the pits, and we're up into P4, and we are running this one-stop strategy, of course, going to lap 13 to box for our next set of tyres. Now we jump to lap 9 here. We've actually made up 2 seconds to Valtteri Bottas in 1 lap or 1.5 laps, something like that. The gap to Valtteri after we passed Sainz and Norris in the pits was 2.6, and now the gap is 3 tenths. So we've made up a lot of time, to Valtteri. I don't know what this guy was doing. I really don't know how we've made up 2 seconds to a Mercedes, but we managed to do it. Now heading through to sector 3. That seems to be where I lose a lot of time. You know, I can follow really close through the whole lap until we get to sector 3, and it's this windy section here where the downforce is really important. I don't know if it's the dirty air of the car in front that's throwing me off through that section, but I just found it really hard to follow through that section. You see we've lost 3 tenths just through that section alone. We're going to head down the home straight now. We will have DRS, of course, on Valtteri. Can we make a move down to turn 1? We're going to have a little look up the inside, but we are going to be too far away. We're going to hit the brakes as well, so we get DRS for the next straight, and hopefully we can make a pass before the end of the next straight. As you can see, coming through turn 2, bouncing over the curb a bit, losing a bit of traction, so Valtteri gets a nice exit there compared to us. But staying with lap 10 here, we're going to be chasing down Valtteri again. I think this is the end of lap 10 now. Down the home straight, we're going to have a look around the outside this time of Valtteri. Valtteri goes later on the brakes, but that outside line is far superior in Baku through turn 1, and we make a move on Valtteri Bottas there. Michael Schumacher comes into the pits as well, and so does Sergio Perez. Perez goes on to another set of mediums, bad looks things. Schumacher out on the softs. So Michael going for a 3-stop strategy, or 2-stop, medium, soft by the sounds of things. He's not going to go 14 laps or 15 laps here on soft tyres. It'll definitely be another pit stop involved. Perez has gone from mediums onto another set of mediums, so it looks like he's going medium, soft, or maybe Michael's going to go mediums later on in the race as well. But yeah, so Michael on the medium tyres there. We are in P1 currently. We are leading the race now with Michael's pit stop. But look at that, Michael's at a pit stop and he's still only 1.3 seconds behind us. Like, this guy's pace is incredible. And this is Michael Schumacher at the end of lap 11 here, chasing down Valtteri Bottas here on those soft tyres. Both going to have DRS, but Bottas peels off into the pits and Michael is going to be up into P2. So Michael is now just behind us, and he's going to have DRS as well on us on the next straight. Like, this guy's pace is absolutely incredible. The fact that he's gone 11 laps, then pitted and came out in P2, and he's about to try and catch us by the end of this straight, now this is where I wish we could have team orders, because we're coming through now. It's going to be very tight. Michael Schumacher, he's going to have an opportunistic look up the inside there. Michael Schumacher bouncing over the curb. It's a little bit close for comfort, but a great overtake from Michael Schumacher despite it being on his teammate. There was no need to push us that hard. We can get the onboard replay here. I go defensive coming into this corner because I didn't want to cause any sort of collision. I was going to let him past, of course, but look at that, he sent it on us. It's good driving from us to let him through and not cause a collision there, but he's very aggressive from Michael, and that's what I mean about team orders. Like, I was going to let him pass as soon as we got to the next straight, but yeah, look at that. And speaking of letting people pass, if anyone saw the Jeddah Grand Prix this weekend, you know, Max Verstappen getting a 10-second time penalty for letting Lewis Hamilton pass, because Lewis Hamilton didn't go past him. Doesn't seem a very fair ruling from the FIA, in my opinion. But anyway, getting back to our race, we come into the pits here on lap 13. Valtteri, of course, came in there on lap 12, and when Michael overtook him, so I decided to try and cover that off and go next lap. But maybe that battle with Michael cost us a bit of time, because Bottas actually gets an undercut on us by 9/10. So Bottas, we were ahead of Bottas by, in fact, it's way more than 9/10 of an undercut, because we were so far ahead of Bottas. A good, like, below a second still because he had DRS, but we were ahead of Bottas by a good few tenths, and then he's pit one lap before us, and obviously ended up coming out ahead of us by 7/10. Our tyres will be one lap younger, but yeah, it is what it is. Max Verstappen was 3 seconds behind us there as we come out of the pits. I don't know what happened to Max, but I shouldn't have spoke too soon, because now Max is 2 tenths behind us heading down this straight. Now he's going to have DRS on us. I don't know how he's made up 3 seconds. This guy is an absolute monster. He's going to have a look up the inside. Who's got the better straight line speed here? Us or the Honda power unit in that Red Bull? And it's going to be us. We get very close to the back of Valtteri there. As we can see, we are pushing as hard as we can. Lap 16 now, we managed to keep Verstappen behind, and we managed to stay within DRS range of Valtteri Bottas heading down into Sector 2. It's going to be absolutely massive through Sector 3 to stay within DRS range, but you can see there, Michael has came into the pits again on lap 16 here. This is going to be his final stop of the race. Let's see where he comes out. It looks like Perez has passed through turn 1 already, and Perez is going to be ahead. But now we are chasing down Bottas. I don't know if we're going to have DRS here. And there's a yellow flag behind. Max Verstappen is in the wall, boys. Max Verstappen is in the wall. Lap 16 of 26. Verstappen out of the session. Safety car out. Let's see what happened there. We were driving straight and felt no contact from behind. Let's see. Zoomed in on Verstappen. He has a little wobble there. And then he just goes into the wall, boys. It looks like tyre failure for Max Verstappen. He has a little wobble on the steering wheel and then just drops it into the wall. A perfect reenactment almost of what happened to Max this year in Baku in real life. That was so bizarre. There was no contact. He was not close to us. You can see the onboard now, and we are just driving straight. Then he has a little wobble of the steering wheel and just drops it into the wall, ricochets back across the track. What a bizarre incident. Max Verstappen, our main title rival this season, Red Bull in the constructors and Max in the drivers, and Max is going to be in the wall and out of this race on lap 16 of 26. What a moment for the championship that could be. In real life, if that didn't happen to Max, he would have won the driver's title by now. And in real life, or not real life, in our game, that could be a deciding factor by the end of the season in the championship battle, you know. So, a few people coming to the pits there, Leclerc, Hamilton. We're going to be in P5 now behind the safety car on these hard tyres. We're going to the end of the race, of course. Looking at this queue right now, we have Mazepin up in this queue here, which is, you know, it's not ideal. Nikita Mazepin is up in the queue. I think we have Perez in P1, Schumacher P2, then Mazepin, who's obviously been lapped, then Sainz, Bottas and us. So even once we go green, it's not just a clear run down into turn 1, and we could full send it to try and get P1. Because Mazepin is getting in the way. I don't know why Codemasters have not made that mechanic where cars can unlap themselves behind the safety car. I don't know why that's not in the game. It seems a very easy feature. I mean, I'm not a game coder, but that seems like an easy feature to have, and it's a rule in real life, so I don't know why it's not a rule in the game. But We're about to go racing again. We're going green, and as you can see, Mazepin just moves out the way. It's not a big deal, but we're going to send it on Bottas up the inside. It's a risky one. We made a bit of contact with Bottas' side pod there, but it's a great move. It's not really. We made contact. It's a very dirty move, very ambitious, Verstappen-esque, but Verstappen is going to win the title this year, so we have to try and copy, following in the footsteps of what the 2021 Drivers' Champion would do in a situation like that. We send it on Bottas, and as you can see, Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas now battling from behind there, and Lewis actually overtakes Bottas. Lewis on those fresh medium tyres that he got behind the safety car. We're going to be up into P4. It's Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari in P3, Michael Schumacher P2, Perez up in P1. How is this going to go, boys? We've got 5 laps left in the race. Can we try and get a podium here? Are we still on for a race win? I don't know. It's very close. You can see Schumacher is only 2.4 ahead of us in P2. Not sure how far ahead Perez is of Schumi, but Sainz 1.1 ahead of us. Can we get within DRS range of Sainz? He's on those medium tyres. I'm not sure how old his tyres are, but our tyres are getting quite old now, of course. We got these tyres on lap 13 of the race. Lewis Hamilton, the car behind, he's going to have DRS on us for sure. Not sure if we will get it on Carlos Sainz. We'll have to wait and see. Down this straight now, Lewis, he's going to try and make a move. He's obviously made a move on his teammate Valtteri Bottas. Can he make a move on us down this straight here? Should we brake check him like Max did to Lewis in Saudi? But that's going to be Carlos Sainz into the pits and Sergio Perez into the pits with 4 laps to go in this race. I have no idea what for. Surely the tyres could have lasted to the end of the race there. But Perez comes in, Sainz comes in. I think it was because obviously in a race you have to use 2 different compounds of tyre. Now Perez went from medium tyres onto medium tyres, so now he has to box and get some soft tyres to change up that compound. I don't think he changed up the compound. He should have done that behind the safety car. It's a bad strategy from Red Bull there. Obviously Perez being the only car left in the race for Red Bull, with Max Verstappen being in the wall. But lap 23 of 26 here is going to be a constant battle with Lewis until the end of the race now. Michael Schumacher 8.2 seconds ahead. There's no catching Michael. The win is out of reach with 3 laps to go here unless something crazy happens. But Lewis is going to go up the inside. We push him as wide as possible so we can get that outside line almost into the wall there. We're pushing it right to the edge there, boys. That was so close. That was one of them moments where your heart just stops and you just think, please don't crunch the wall there. And we crunched the wall a little bit there. Take no damage though, fortunately. And Lando Norris is looking to make a move now on Lewis Hamilton. As we come through there, I think there's a bit of contact between me and Lewis. Lewis goes up the inside, and yeah, there is a bit of contact. He bounces over the curb and into our side pod. Never a good idea to go up the inside of that corner right there, I'll tell you that. I've learned from experience it's never a good idea to go up the inside there. The AI just don't care about you if you go up the inside of that corner there, and he will just turn into you and cause a crash. So Lewis going up the inside, and we repay the favour. You know, he caused a collision there. That is bad driving from Lewis Hamilton. Not often you say that, but it was, you know. So we're nearly out of DRS range to Lewis. It's 9.5 tenths, and we're going to check the vehicle condition. We have no damage, but the tyres were sliding around a little bit. The tyres didn't seem to be that worn on the DMFD, but they did seem to be sliding around a bit. I didn't feel like I had optimum grip out there, you know. But there's only 2 laps left in this race. Can we defend one last mighty defence from Lewis Hamilton down this straight now? He's right on our gearbox. It's going to be so hard to keep him behind once he gets this DRS open. We're going to have to put our Virgil van Dijk heads on and defend like an absolute lion, like Alonso told Ocon to do in Qatar this year. And you can see there, look at the train of DRS cars behind us. It's going to be Lewis Hamilton up the inside. Lando Norris wants to move as well. Up the inside into turn 1. We have the outside line. I told you before, it's the optimum line, and we stay ahead of Lewis, Lando, and Charles there. And I think it's Daniel Ricciardo looking to get involved as well. Here's the on-board of that. You can see we push Lewis as wide as possible, and then come back across to the right, which means Lando goes up the inside as well, and we get a great rotation through turn 1 there, around the outside, and what a move that was to stay ahead. And I think there's a bit of contact again between us and Lewis. Yeah, there was. So Lewis had to slow down there. So that's where the time difference came, because we almost got a second ahead there, like I say. And that's where the time difference probably came from, was the bit of contact there between us and Lewis. But you know, he's still in this fight. It's Lewis Hamilton, you can never count him out. Michael Schumacher 15.8 seconds ahead, and Charles Leclerc has actually made an opportunistic move there. As we went 3 wide through turn 1, Lando and Lewis slowed down, and there goes Charles Leclerc around the outside of Lando into turn 2. And Charles Leclerc is up into P4. What a move that was from the fellow Ferrari boy in that, obviously, Ferrari car. We just have the Ferrari power unit. So Leclerc up into P4. Can Lando make a move back? No, he can't. It's a bad idea to go up the inside, like I've just said. And Lando has dropped a place on the final lap of the race. Not very good for McLaren. He's dropped another place to Daniel Ricciardo, actually. Ricciardo has overtaken his teammate there. But it seems like they're fighting back. Full position, Lando and Daniel there. Probably team orders come into play. Zach Brown, is it, the team principal of McLaren? Will probably tell them to stop fighting dude because he's American. But anyway, yeah, coming through the castle section now. All we need is a flawless lap here. No mistakes. And we will have a podium on our hands, boys. Or we will have a P2 on our hands, a P1 and P2. I don't think we ever did that with any of our previous teammates. You know, who we had, Dan Ticktum, definitely not. He didn't get a podium. Callum Ilott didn't get a podium. Nico Rosberg, I don't actually know if we ever shared a podium with Nico Rosberg. Coming through the corner there, we scraped the wall, and Lewis Hamilton is going to make a move up the inside. He's going to have a little look up the inside. It's a final attempt, and Lewis Hamilton goes round on lap 26 of 26. Lewis Hamilton is round on the final corner of the track, pretty much. Lewis, he had one last shot to try and overtake us there. He probably had another one a bit later on, actually, if he got into our slipstream and got DRS down the straight. But he wants to send it there up the inside, as you can see. He's just alongside. I thought we left the space. I thought we left enough space. You know, I'm not a dirty driver. I did try and leave him the space there because I knew he was coming up the inside. But it looks like he bounces over the curb a bit.
Superb weekend. Thank you, guys. I can't believe that.
Michael Schumacher winning the race there, though, in P1. It's back-to-back wins for Michael, I'm pretty sure, is it not? I don't know, we'll have to check that out. But, boys, we are going to cross the line here using all of the battery we have left. We're going to cross the line in P2. What a result for the team. Let's go.
Okay, good job, mate. Really well done. That was a fantastic drive.
That is what you absolutely love to see, boys, and I believe we are going to get driver of the day. We sure do. Up from P11 into P2. The one-stop strategy working wonders, especially with the safety car. The safety car really did come to our advantage in this race. Michael Schumacher, you know, didn't even bother with the safety car, just ran his normal two-stop strategy and just had the pace. And this guy is ridiculous. He's a demon. If he doesn't win the Drivers' Championship this year, I will be very, very surprised, unless he has some engine reliability problems later on in the season. But it seems like we've had all the bad luck already for the team this season. So if we get another DRS, I was going to say, if we get another DNF later on in the season, yeah, we're definitely not going Ferrari next year, I can tell you that. Probably going to look at the Mercedes engine, or we'll just wait and see which team or supplier has the best engine once we come to next season. But we managed to celebrate on the podium there with Michael Schumacher for the first time, and hopefully not the last time this season. Hopefully those steps can be the other way around. We haven't got a race win in quite some time. I'd love to get a win in this season. We do have Canada next, which is a favourite track of mine, and then also France. Big possibility for wins in those races. We'll have to wait and see. Every Monday and Friday we bring out new episodes, so wait and see on Friday for Canada. Charles Leclerc completing the podium though, for anyone who missed that. Leclerc up from P9 into P3 on a two-stop strategy. Valtteri, the only other guy running a one-stop strategy, and he goes from P6 to P6, so a poor race from Valtteri really, all things considered, you know. But Lewis Hamilton, he actually finishes the race P19 after that spin. He couldn't recover, make up any sort of places, finishes P19. Max Verstappen and George Russell, the two DNFs this race. Russell with engine failure, and Verstappen with what I'm calling tyre failure, so I can try and clickbait people into watching this video who didn't see the Baku incident, or who are searching for the Baku incident from real life. Anyway, Michael extends his lead in the driver's standings by 1 point. He's 1 point ahead there. We are in P9, I think, and the team is now just 11 points behind Red Bull, and Max DNF is absolutely massive. If we can get another one of them and another 1-2 for the team, that is great stead going forward in the rest of the season. We hit all of our sponsors' goals there and managed to get 1.1k. Or 1.1 mil, sorry. We have to sign a new sponsor. We go with Slingshot Fuel, which is achieve a podium finish, and we get 600k every time we do that. We have 12 mil in the bank. We're going to get a team acclaim upgrade here, which is your XP, so our XP rate will just go up faster We don't really need XP at this point in the season. You know, we don't have any upgrades to do really, any facilities that we need upgrading. We still do, we have the durability, but who really cares about that, you know what I mean? Next race, like I say, boys, Canada. Make sure you stay tuned for that one. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you have enjoyed this video, let me know by hitting the like button on it. Can we get 10 likes? We haven't for a while, so the answer's probably no. But if we could, that'd be great. I'll catch us next time. Take it easy.